We're looking at the situation in Westminster where there's been an awful lot of rain and flooding. The rain has stopped, but the flooding is still there.
Let's go to Mark Stewart, who has been there for much of the day and a little bit improved, except for those road conditions behind you, Mark.
And all day long, people in this neighborhood along 134th and Osage really been holding their breaths because there's been fast-moving floodwaters for the last couple of hours or so. People are really watching their property lines because in some cases this water is getting pretty close. The man who lives at this home has been peering out the window and coming out to his front yard every so often just to see how close these waters are coming. You know, as far as preparation time, there wasn't much people could do. Water has been here for the past 2 days or so. There's been a lot of heavy rains, and Quail Creek, as you can see over there, has been starting was rising, but then over a 10 to 15 minute period this afternoon, it really just got out of control. As you can tell, people have started to clear the streets here, and that's because police became very concerned about public safety because at one point the waters here were rushing at a ferocious and violent pace, and if anyone was in the middle of it, they could have perhaps been swept away. Police issued what they call a code red, and that's basically a phone call to people in these neighborhoods telling them to stay away. The good news is, since we last talked to you about 40 minutes ago, the water here has started to subside, but it's still a concern. If there is any more rain tonight or tomorrow, you know, the water here, this creek, could easily overflow once again. But let's not let appearances deceive us. This water is still moving at a rapid pace, and in many places, the depth is just very hard to judge, and it is coming very close again to many subdivisions. As far as other issues around Westminster, the police department here has opened up a command center, special command center at its regular police dispatch. Fortunately, no injuries. However, earlier today, Mike and Ann, photographer Brian Ferguson and I were just a few blocks away over at 144th and Huron. 2 cars were stalled, and the fire department had to rescue someone. So when these emergency officials are telling us to tell you to please stay at home and stay off the road, it's for good reason, because the depth is very hard to judge, the speed can be hard to judge, and as we have seen, it can be very dangerous, Mike and Ann.
Well, and obviously the temperature change too. If you can even gauge what the temperature is out there, and particularly, you know, since everything is soaked and you're cold, I imagine.
It has become a little bit chilly since we last talked. I mean, we're pretty layered up. We're well equipped for all of this. But yeah, this whole experience, I think, has made us all very humble about the power of nature. But yeah, the conditions change very quickly, and that's why these updates are so necessary.
Absolutely. All right, Mark, thank you for that update.
All right, very quickly, I want to tell you that between Main Street, Harvest Street, Ken Pratt, and Nelson Road, 2nd Avenue, and Spruce are being asked to leave as soon as possible in the Longmont area. We're following up on